You're listening to DraftKings Network.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account, a friend paying you back, or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card, or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh Cashback terms apply.
I'm always curious on JuJu's thoughts on our show. He has a really discerning ear about what it is that the fans come to expect from what it is that we do every day. And so as I was doing the show today, JuJu, because I've got always sort of a little bit of a clock in my head, people want the show as the show, and sometimes guests get in the way of that. So if we do 3 guests in a day and then we start spending 30 minutes with them, people get a little restless to my ear by 10 or 12 minutes because they're like, where's the show? I don't want just the show with this guest list. But I thought the guests were all great today. I thought Nick Wright was exceptional today and charming and fun. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Nick Wright was right today, dog. Like, he had it spot on. Like, sometimes I imagine the little kids watching The Last Dance and being like, dang, how could you grow up in the 90s and not root for Michael Jordan? And I think this era will be remembered as that. And I'm sitting here as a Pacers fan rooting for damn Reggie Miller to get over the damn hump year after year. I'm sitting here rooting for Patrick Ewing. I'm sitting here rooting for Utah Jazz and John Stockton and them boys when Jordan is still here doing his thing. So all hats off. That's why I took my hat off. I took my shades off. I'm not hiding behind anything. Sincerest salute. Nick Wright, you were right.
That hurts. It hurts, that admission. I was rooting for JuJu. Nick Wright getting to win isn't good for anybody. Nick Wright getting to be right isn't good for anybody except Nick Wright. You're wearing the Atlanta Dream gear. I had sent Renee Montgomery a congratulations because Brittney Griner coming to town as obviously a great player, but as a symbol as well. You have a bit of a relationship with her. How excited are you about this kind of star power coming to Atlanta? Because she's going to be beloved there, right?
Right, absolutely. In the data, we talked about testicles and sickness. We just getting to the biggest story of the day to me. BG coming to Atlanta, dog. Atlanta, we have never really had that star power that I think we always deserve. And I think this is going to turn a big corner. This is going to light the city up and surround that sister with a lot of love. I know she's been getting a lot of love in Phoenix. Don't get me wrong. Like, salute. They supported her and held her down for years and years. But I feel like Atlanta, we can take the baton and just say, hey, sis, we're going to embrace you with open arms. And I cannot wait, man, for this upcoming season. Salute to Atlanta Dream, man. Miss Morgan and Renee, dog, y'all getting it done.
No, let me talk to you more about this because it was a story that we neglected today, and people can't understand how hard it has been to be Renee Montgomery or to be trying to do business in that league when people say they're going to support you and then it becomes hard. In Atlanta, they have a passionate fan base that really does care about that team that JuJu is a part of. When it comes to your allegiances, JuJu, all across sports, the Atlanta Dream are where in the rankings close to your heart as something that you care about from the best of places?
It's on level, like on top level for sure, because like you said, bro, it's been years where we had 16 people in the crowd and I was season ticket holder still. My seat didn't matter. I could have bought a $2 ticket, you feel me, and had the same seat. But I've been supporting these ladies since then, and it's like to see them grow and to see Ryan Howard, Jordan Canada now, Big Al, bro, Big Al. You remember, it moved me to tears when Big Al went to the All-Star game and got the three-point contest and the skills contest because I felt like, dang, that's as big a stage as someone from Atlanta gets. And so I feel like now Brittney Griner coming and lending some of her star power to this city, man, it's just I'm so excited. It ranks very top of my list.
It's crazy as a story, right, to think of someone having to play in Russia in order to get around how bad the salaries are in the United States, and then becomes a political prisoner, and then gets traded here, and has been excellent, but has been overshadowed by other giants in the game. But the story, on the battering that she has taken in order to get to be. Is this going to become immediately her team? Is that how that works with star power? Because I don't know how that one works. Right, Atlanta has been disappointing as a team. The roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be, I think like they already put out videos because those sisters are already in the Unrivaled League playing together. Her, Ryan Howard, and Big Al, Alicia Gray, and Jordan Canada as well. So they're bonding right now. And I think that the bond that they're forming in the Unrivaled League, which is so important, which is proof now, they're going to bring that bond back to the city with them. And I think it's going to be all of their team, a big four, if you will. You feel me? And we got a new coach as well. I feel like the culture could not be changing at the right time. This is the perfect time for the culture change.
What could you tell us about your relationship with Griner? Because you having access to this particular story, it's meaningful. I love that you get to enjoy this really up close with them, as not everybody gets that experience in fandom where you get to celebrate the successes of seeing the business rise in a community you care about.
Yeah, I mean, outside of just being, I mean, of course, like, I feel like my relationship with everybody is pretty much the same. I'm a supporter. Like Jeremy says earlier in the show, bro, I like talking to people. I like being there and shaking hands and looking people in the eyes and telling them I appreciate them. So outside of that, just her as an inspiration, as just a figure of just perseverance and not giving up on yourself and not giving up on your family, dog. Just her being able to come back with a smile on her face, not let it ruin her, not let it just because she gets a lot of hate. It's just so much. She has so many excuses to just give up and become a sour sap and just be hardened by this experience. And I feel like it's done the opposite. She's filled with love, and I can't wait for her to get an opportunity to show it more.
What are the criticisms that we got today, and how true is it, because you've got a good ear, that I went about 10 minutes too long with each of the guests?
Nah, the guest was spot on. I think you went a little too long on the jealousy portion. I don't think Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce have that dynamic at all. I got a little brother, you feel me? If my little brother became the biggest rapper ever, I would be so excited. I couldn't even think about being jealous. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's two types of people, and that's a jealous person and a person who can't even imagine it. So across the tracks, we have a hard time understanding each other. I don't think jealousy plays a part at all. But I do think Tyreek Hill showed his hand a little bit. He exposed his hand because I agree. Him leaving out of Kansas City, he made that business decision because you don't get that guaranteed money in the NFL. One ankle and you're done. One bad tackle, you're out of here with your salary. So he secured generational wealth. Hats off to my dog, you feel me? But at the same time, you can't then at the end of the season be like, I'm out, change your meme to Antonio Brown leaving. That's a bit much. So I agree with a lot of your sentiments on that topic.
Well, here's the thing. I do not know what the reaction was, but I did see it in the shipping container, and I heard it from Jessica, Billy, and actually literally in my ear from Chris Cody, where he said to me during that segment, we're caught in the quicksand here a little bit on Tyreek Hill. I will be honest with the audience and everyone involved. It's just the easiest in the world sports radio topic. Like, if you want to talk about the Super Bowl, how about just make it human? Is this guy jealous of that guy? Lazy, fart. When do we get to peanut talk? How do I find my way to peanut talk? So I cop to laziness that is embarrassing to me after 20 years of doing this. It's just very easy to throw to the audience some form of manufactured division in the name of talking about the big game. I'm sorry. You caught me. You all caught me. I'm sorry. What else do you have?
It's all good. I had to remind myself that this week because, I'm not ashamed to give people my tears. That Bills game broke me in a way that I did not know I could be broken. You feel me? In a year when the Celtics are the champions, my Eagles are in the Super Bowl, but it broke me so much to a point to where I didn't even want to eat Monday. I was just so sad. But I had to remind myself, man, Josh Allen is a multimillionaire. Josh Allen is good. Everybody on that team are multimillionaires, and they're going to be just fine this week in Cabo. You feel me?
That's what I always envision. As soon as I start feeling bad for a guy eliminated from the playoffs, I think about me. If I'm that rich, I just got eliminated from the playoffs. You know what I do right when I get home? I'm planning a trip.
You guys,
where are we going?
Did you guys notice though? Like, I know this isn't brain surgery, but it was kind of weird to all watch together. When Lamar Jackson gets the ball dropped on him, it doesn't become, I feel so bad for Lamar Jackson. The moment that happens to Josh Allen, there became a whole lot of, I feel so bad for Josh Allen that he can't get past Patrick Mahomes. I can't say that's weird. I know why that's happening, but it was interesting to watch it play out that obviously where all of a sudden the loser, when we're real mean to the losers, it's just, oh, poor Josh Allen. Kincaid didn't make a catch that was a hell of a lot harder than the one that Andrews didn't make for Lamar.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get caught up in wanting their take from years and years ago to be correct, that they lend more leniency to certain people than others. And it hurt me so bad that Lamar went out like that. That's why I wish they would have had to play the Chiefs instead of us. But you're right, bro. Like, I think the takedom takes over people's humanity. Instead of lending grace, they want to be like, see, I told you Lamar couldn't get it done. And then, I've been praising Josh all year. Oh, the refs. And it's like, nah, bro.
Oh, but JuJu, I don't think you watch sports the way everyone else does. Like, I don't know how much hating you do. And so what's happening with Buffalo there as well, it's not just Lamar and Josh. It's that people are rooting against Kansas City. They're tired of Kansas City, and you don't really do that, do you?
Nah, not at all. Like I say, I've had the fortunate blessing of going through therapy recently. You feel me? And I realized that, bro, everything in life, if you just look at it, what could we have done better? What could I have done better in this scenario? No matter how fair the scenario is, what could I have done better? That's what I'm focused on. I think that'll get a lot of fans a little bit more sleep at night. But you're right, dog. Like my girlfriend, she doesn't subscribe to nothing I'm saying right now. She hates Patrick Mahomes. She hates Travis Kelce. She hates the sight of every time they switch the camera up to Taylor Swift. Oh, mute it. She don't want to hear. So I'm very familiar with it, but I just have a different way of going about it so I can sleep at night.
Do you have any polls to get to that are particularly funny? We've had a couple of good days worth of polls here.
Yes, has Ryan Leaf taken the internet to a darker place?
It was a very strange place to end up.
72% of the audience says, yes, he has. Ease up on Brother Leaf, y'all. Poll, does Bill Barnwell joke about football? 73% of the audience says, no, that brother does not joke.
Chris Cote has never been righter with a take than it was insulting to have these people suggest that Bill Barnwell would joke about football.
Was the death of retail the death of communication? 70% of the audience says, yes, it was. And back to that sentiment, man, like, the communication is so important, dog. It's like me and Jeremy, before I took my little break, me and Jeremy had a plan to like sometimes sit down and just discuss like mental health struggles and mental health stuff that we go through from different sides of the tracks. You know what I'm saying? We're totally different kind of guys, but we go through the same type of struggles. And I found that if you just communicate with your friends, if you out there today, bro, communicate with your friend, bro. If you got a thing that you don't like about your friend, let them know, man. Who knows? Don't hold it in, because they just might surprise you and change that thing for you. They're your friend, you feel me? So I feel like a lot of internalizing and looking at this social media is poisonous to us these days. We got to get back in each other's faces and hug each other and tell each other we love one another, because that's what's going to progress us and take care of the next generation.
It is nice to see you, sir, as always. Thank you. I want more critiques tomorrow. Even though you're a positive person, I am.
He just finished saying all of that stuff about positivity.
Yes,
and I want you to be meaner tomorrow.
I
mean,
know.
Good Lord, Dan.
I need the content. Surely, JuJu, they were plenty mean when I was 10 minutes late still talking about Tyreek Hill. Surely whatever was happening in the chats and on Reddit, I'm sure was really kind. I'm sure it was just gentle and understanding.
You were, they were. And the last thing I'm gonna say before I get out of here, because you hit my heart yesterday with your fine bucket rant. You like, if people aren't gonna take it serious, why are we doing this? So I will have you to know that I put $20 in the fine bucket sent to me by Miss Cynthia, Queen Cynthia, of course. So I have paid all my debts, and we are on track.
Okay, you didn't owe $20. You're paying Cody's fines. Whose tab are you picking up here?
Yeah, I'm paying my big brother Greg Cody's.
Okay, you're paying. That's not right. That's not right.
Punt.
It's not right.
Punt.
Hey, howdy, listener. Why don't you sit down here next to me? Let's have a fireside conversation in the winter. This is all theater of the mind anyways. If weather outside is a little chilly, let's warm up. Let's cozy up. Not just to each other, but also to that beautiful white can of Miller Lite. That's right, make these moments even better with Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer. A new year is a perfect time for friends, family, and great tasting light beer. Tastes like Miller time. You know, as the football games get bigger, everybody's talking about hosting parties. It's always difficult. Everyone's got an opinion. Why don't you just bring out a nice cooler of Miller Lites and make everybody happy? You could be on opposite sides of the big game, but you still know that you are brought together by Miller time. Miller Lite is a great unifier. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. The original light beer since 1975 and still the very best one. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.